Hi everybody, welcome to the Chateau in the Grifferaie. It's Leslie, it's Rob, it's your friend Mr. Bingley, who just decided you wanted to join the shot, which is great because everybody loves Mr. Bingley. Welcome to season 4 episode, maybe 26 or 27. We've shot a lot this year. It's been got a lot done. Oh, yeah, come on up, Mr. Bubs, if people want to see you. All right, there he is, Mr. Bubs, everybody's favorite. Hey, we found some cool stuff. A surprise.
Oh, a surprise. You know, the fun thing about going to Brocante and secondhand places here is you just never know what you're going to find. And I think that's the part most people like about it. But you literally never know what you're going to find. So we found something that we weren't looking for.
Yeah, and I won't spoil it, but I will say we found two. We didn't buy these. Two giant statues that came from they were molds of the previous molds of the cathedral that they
at the cathedral in Angers. Yeah. It was in the 60s apparently the mold of what they would use for taking molds of the different statues that are, well, how much bigger than us?
I don't know, 12 feet tall.
That they had on the outside of the cathedral, so that if anything ever happened, one fell or smashed or something, then they could remake it. So the molds were there and they looked just like regular
they look
statues.
Perfect. And we asked them how much, but they were not for sale, at least to us. Maybe they're sold, we're not sure. But look for that. But then of course there's the one big thing we found. There's also lots of work on the roof. We finished this, the roof outside, but also the ceiling of the kitchen. I always say roof, I mean ceiling, sorry. The camera rolls, your mind can't catch up sometimes. That's good. And we went out to celebrate our 33rd wedding anniversary. Go us. Long time. Long time. So there's some good food at the end, and also the Chateau Plessis-Boré. So enjoy that if you wish to. Thanks for coming along. Enjoy. All right, first shot of the video. I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of a time lapse. And so again, we had found boxworms in the hedge. They'd come back this year, and so I was out spraying. I thought, oh, this is great. We'll get a shot of me spraying, and then the roofers are also working, and you get to kind of enjoy two things. Well, so that didn't work out so good. As soon as I started shooting, the roofers were done for the day, and they packed up and headed out. But I guess you get to watch me spraying for the boxworms, the tent caterpillars, or whatever they're called, boxwood tent caterpillars. One thing that's kind of cool, take a look at the sky. You see those jet lines, those whatever they're called, chemtrails, I don't know, or whatever the real name is. See that they're blowing side. I didn't know they did that. That's kind of fun, blowing sideways across the screen. Yeah. Well, this is good news. They are coming around. They have got that front right corner done, and they're coming across the front piece there. Looks like $1 million. Now, the only issue is that huge metal corner piece. We're asking them if they're going to cover that up a little bit more, and so we'll see what happens. It's a little bit more metal than we'd like to see there, but who knows? Who knows? But anyways, really happy with those front slate pieces. They look great. Well, that was an interesting day. Beautiful sunset to end the evening. Roofers made good progress on the roof, and they drove one of the big lifts way over here by the restaurant. Now, I have to think that means they're parking it for the rest of August, because they're not going to demo anymore. It's typical in France to take most of August off, and I think the roofers are going to take off once it gets to be about August 15th. So we're on the home stretch for them. Now, again, we're working on the kitchen, and so we went to Brico Depot to get some paint. That is about $70 of paint there, and we splurged a little bit. We bought a $200 rototiller cultivator. Now, again, we've had so much difficulty with this sandy patch, and we're going to try just a light rototill over the top. Obviously, Leslie wants to use this someday for the rose garden too, to reinstate that, and also for other gardens, so it's probably a good purchase. It was a bit of a splurge considering we're spending so much on the roof. So that was good. And then of course we got to the Brocante, and if you've seen this video, you know that we found some really cool stuff at the Brocante. Well, maybe you should watch. All right, we're at the Brocante looking for some things while we're here in Angers, and you never exactly know what you're going to find in the Brocante. Some ancient statues, old knives, even war medals. $7. Or maybe you find a grandfather clock for $108. Or giant statues.
You want to see how big he is?
Yeah, Leslie for scale. That'd be fun in the yard, eh? I asked how much they were and they said either not for sale or they're already sold.
I think they might be sold.
Super
There
cool.
was a ticket.
Leslie likes that. It's an old, that's an old lantern, French lantern. 120. And then there's a little one for a hallway too. How much is that guy? This is kind of tempting too. €59 for all of those copper pots. Leslie says she'd use that for butter. So there's at least one of the plans where underneath the range hood, or in the back of the range hood, you hang all your copper pots. Cool. Okay, we found another purchase. 35 and lots of jewels on that one. And then this one, €15, and it's a triple candle holder for the wall. 2 of them. Yum. Okay.
So there was one more thing I had to show Rob. I never get to see this. Take a peek. Tell me what you see. Do you notice something that's particularly important? I'm always looking for a certain letter. Yes, it is the letter G. There's a monogram in the middle of each piece that has a G, which of course would be for the Grifferaie. And I'm often looking for linens with embroidered G's or things like that. They're very hard to find. And then I found this whole set.
How many plates? We counted more than 40.
There's more than 40 plates.
So enough for everybody on our program. And it's G and it's French.
We wouldn't use it every day.
No.
Because it's porcelain.
No,
of
be
course.
banquet kind of things when people
But
come over.
it's just incredible to find something with a G on it.
And
it must have been almost like a dessert service or something.
Yeah.
There's a gravy boat, but look how many cake plates.
I counted eight cake plates, and then 5 raised bowls.
Yes, and then two covered, one gravy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Platter over
platters.
there too. 6 platters.
It's just bizarre. And
So-
so the roof of our dining room is a light blue with some other colors too. So that's also often hard to find in any kind of dishes if we were ever going to do something special. But this one, if you can see, this one actually you can show even better. Some of them are more worn. This one you can really see that the leaves are kind of a soft blue-gray. And then of course the gold G. And then on the covered pieces, I don't think they used as often because you can see that the monogram is much stronger in color. And it's just a very fun find.
So
we'll have to think about that.
yeah, this is a hard call because
It is a hard call.
it's obviously great. And the number, when do you ever find 40 matching pieces of china with the monogram letter?
I know. And one I even like.
Having said that, we're putting in a $300,000 roof.
I get it.
So the price for all this in the Brocante, so this is a secondhand store, €1,200. We're gonna have to debate this. Okay, we made an offer for $1,000 for the dishes, the sconces, and the pots. We'll see. That, by the way, in case you're counting, was 60 pieces of china, and then 35 dessert plates, and then many serving plates.
I don't see what Google.
Nothing left to chance. Maybe the safest bowls in France.
Hey,
Oh, it's good. You're doing a good job.
I don't want them rattling on the way home.
No, that's why I agreed.
I don't really want them chipped.
There we go. These are sitting on top, by the way. Yeah. As you can see, we bought them. We offered him $1,000 for everything. The copper pots, the warming tray, the 4 wall sconces, and all 115 pieces of silverware, or china, pardon me. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely beautiful. You've got the G, the Grifferaie logo, monogram, is that right? And Leslie thinks maybe they were a tea service because there's so many raised plates and bowls. I believe we have 33 dessert plates and 46 46 dinner plates, and I believe 18 bowls, then 6 serving trays, 2 footed covered pots, a gravy boat, 8 raised plates, and then another 5 raised bowls.
The washing up has begun. So we're unpacking them all very carefully and hand washing these guys so that we can get it all clean again. There are some sort of marks and dirt and things like that on the china, so we're getting it clean. And when it comes to bone china, the more we wash it, the stronger it gets. And so I suspect it's been a long time. See, there's sort of like these brown sort of marks that definitely come off when we wash. I think they're just dirty. So the hand washing begins. We're down to our last box. Very nice that we had so many at the Brocante for them to lend us, as well as a towering pile of newspaper, which is great that they had that as well, because that was helpful. So last few pieces left. If you can imagine, yet again another cake plate. Wait until we show you how many in there that we have. And 2 platters, as well as 2 other things that I'm going to ask you guys if you know what they are. So find your archives in your brain and talk to Grandma and see if we can figure it out. So there's one piece up for debate. Well, there's 2 of them actually. There's 2 of these large bowls. As you can see, they are a bowl and a shallow bowl, but not as shallow as the platters, 2 of those. So I'm not exactly sure. You know, in our china sets at home, we don't really have this piece. I don't know. You can see in my hand, there's my hand, so it's large. So I guess obviously, like, not even fruit, like the juice would probably get everywhere. So I'm not exactly sure yet what this was used for. It clearly has an indentation, so it clearly could be used for fruit. There were 2 of them. And then there's 2 slightly smaller ones that are bowl-esque, but also not super deep, but again, could be used for meals. And then there's another set of the same kind, sort of shallow bowls. Even the platters seem to be inset farther than the bowls do. So anyways, considering the amount of footed dessert or other such sweets that went on all of these, perhaps maybe it was fruit or things like that. So I don't know if any of our European friends has some clues on these specific shallow bowls, especially the big one. That would be awesome. So talk to your grandmas and see what they have to say, see what they remember about old china from the 1800s. These clearly are some of my favorites. Look at the beautiful detail on the gold handle and the pattern. There's G on multiple spots and footed feet. So cute. The gravy boat. Cute. It is in one piece, which we see here often. And then another little matching casserole. Small again though, so you can see my hand. They're not big casserole or covered dishes, but cute, probably for something warm. So as Rob said, sometimes you just have to be opportunistic. This was definitely one of those things. Are there other things I probably need more? For sure. However, when you see something as special as this with the monogram of the G, which is very hard to find G on anything, it's important. The first thing I did when we first saw the china was I flipped it over and I could see who the maker was. Now, since I had never heard of it, I decided to go in and do a little research. I'm not sure you can read that, especially backwards. But apparently in the 1868 Paris Exposition, people could go and commission, it feels kind of like a high-end souvenir from the exposition in Paris. And apparently they could go and choose their pattern and choose their monogram. And apparently in the Maryland Museum in America, they have a set. It doesn't look exactly like this, but the scallop is the same. The concept of the monogram is the same. Their monogram was different, clearly. Theirs was bright pink. And it's in the museum in Maryland. And apparently people could go, the family had commissioned a set of china to be made, and then they were custom made and then shipped to them after the exposition was over. So because of that, there was a special emblem printed on the back of the china, because this company had won an award as the best china company within the exposition. And so they decided to hallmark that by adding it to their emblem towards the future as it kept moving forward. So pretty great, and we're pretty excited.
So all in all, kind of an expensive day, but I think it's smart to be a bit opportunistic when you're here. You know, I'm sure somebody originally paid, I mean, in today's money, would have paid thousands and thousands for that huge set of china with the custom monogram of their own letter, and we got it for significantly less. So you have to, I think, be willing to you know, be opportunistic and jump when you need to jump. Do we want to spend that kind of money right now? No, we don't. We'd rather have that in the bank, especially with the big cost of the roof coming in. But I think it was a smart move. Back at it. This is what, day 4, day 5? I can't remember. And I did something I should have done a long time ago. I bought goggles. You got an electric sander and you're sanding over your head and the stuff's falling into your eyes. Your eyes hurt. This is going to be great. $3. Can't believe I waited 2 years. Another $3. These ones aren't for sanding. These are just for when I'm cutting with the saw, because you obviously want to protect your eyes so nothing gets thrown into your eyes. And I'm nearsighted or farsighted, whatever it is, so I can't really see very well with my glasses up close. So this is another $3 that is going to be really, really helpful. Okay, we're up to coat number 3. Coat number 3. Starting to look better. Pretty smooth. We'll have at least one more coat to go. And I'm trying, so 2 of them are really deep. This one was really deep, and this one's really deep. So I went with a fast drying mud. We'll see if that helps. One more sand there, and we're gonna be ready to go. Here we are, day 4, sanding and filling. Now we've got almost all of them. Just this guy, that guy, and of course the back wall. Now this one was a bummer. It was going so great. It's going pretty good, relatively flat. All of a sudden, the ceiling started to move and the plaster started to chip. So I got a whole new hole there. Worst case, I should probably do 3 more days on that, but so I'm gonna chip it out and we'll see if we can fill it and do it in only a couple of patches. Well, what are you gonna do? You can't have plaster that's bubbling, so I had to go all the way around, keep pulling it off until it held firm. Otherwise, we'll just, in another year, we'd have another big, huge thing. So I've set back a couple of days, but it'll only be like 1 hour, a couple of days. Well, there it is. You know, that was hard. That was maybe 90 minutes worth of road tilling, and your body hurts quite a bit because you're fighting against that thing the whole time. It's small. We wanted to get a little one in case, you know, we end up doing a rose garden and Leslie wants to plant things, and we thought maybe Leslie will be able to use it. I don't know. It takes a pretty good kick. But you know what? It I guess actually did clear a fair area. If you had enough people maybe, but this is really the hard way to clear weeds. We've got to find a tractor with a blade. So much easier. First coat of primer's on, and we can see the floor now. You know, it's not a perfect ceiling. There's lots of imperfections, but it's definitely a lot brighter, and love not seeing the wires. And my wife is going to be happy with me because I tarped the floor. She hates it when I don't tarp the floor. It's a running debate in our house. What's easier, to tarp the floor and work around it, or to pick up or to scrape off the flecked paint? There you go, no wires and a pretty flat ceiling. I can't wait to get the real paint on, probably 2 coats, and that'll cover a little bit better. But yeah, coming. Oh, that's a welcome sight, eh? Look at that. It's a welcome sight indeed. It looks like they have come around. I'm gonna zoom in here, prepare your eyes. Yeah, it looks like they have come around the corner. They got that whole the right thing done, almost across the right middle, and they're starting on to the that middle pediment. Super exciting, super exciting. It's almost halfway through August, and I think they're taking a break for half of August, which makes sense. That's how it goes in France. So fair enough, the guys are working hard. And so hopefully I'm really hoping they're gonna get to the stage where they don't have a lot of tarps out, so that tarps don't blow in the wind for 2-3 weeks. And it looks like they're gonna do that. So that's fantastic, great work by the roofers. Well, the pizza oven is back in use as the church bells ring, 7 o'clock in town. Great to get this guy back in action. We did use it during the break and we had fun with it. It was a little bit hard to do 26 people. It was a little bit challenging, but we definitely got 10 or 15 each time, and that seemed to work well. Now, there's always complications when you live in another country and don't speak the language, don't always understand the culture. So we had a friend, one of our students was visiting and hurt her hand, and so I had to go to the doctor. We just got a bill for it, and she can't figure out how to pay it online. So I thought I'd come to the old Center for Public Finances and pay it for her. And of course they're closed because they're only open Monday to Friday, 8 to noon. You guys, sometimes you work on jobs and they go bad and you hit setbacks, and then other times it goes well. And this paint went on so well. Now, again, it's a 150-year-old roof, perhaps. And so there's definitely waves and there's bumps, but oh my goodness, the paint looks fantastic. Leslie said she purposely went with kind of a cream to since we knew there's, little bumps and things like that, she wanted to minimize those and have the roof kind of, all one color, monochromatic, so it sort of fades out. And man, did it work. This is only one coat. I'll probably go back and do another coat. Got a significant line there, but there's things, but my goodness, you guys, this kitchen is gonna be so much better. All those ugly wires gone, and a nice clean ceiling. Gonna build a roof hood there, get some boxes over the fridges. That's next week, maybe. Oh, good times, good times.
Oh no.
It's raining, so we're checking where it's all wet.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
the pigeons are even looking. Look. That is really, really bad. Oh no.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Here too. Good heavens. What in the world?
Yeah.
Good grief, you guys.
Okay, well, we'll get some buckets. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that that's a big part of the problem. Wide open to the world. Quite a bit of water falling from there. But we had a lot in here too. It slowed down, so that's the good news. But we had significant leaks again. Yeah, all over. This one is still mystifying. Look at how deep that is. It's like a solid foot of water. Well, here's some good news. This is the tower that's completely done. Completely done except right up there. That's going that direction. But pretty much completely done, and it's completely dry. Whoa. Okay, we've tidied up a bit. It's still not clean, but you can see that beautiful ceiling. 2 coats of paint now. Looking great. And the room just looks so much cleaner and so much newer. Again, it's not decorated again, and there's lots of work to do. And we'll get to the range hood real quick here. But, and the crown molding too across the top. But man, I am pleased with how much cleaner, and I don't know, it just looks better. Stay tuned. As we mentioned in the intro, this week marked our 33rd anniversary, which is kind of cool. It's a long time, 33 years. I don't know if you are on social media, but you see sometimes people post tributes to their spouse. And sometimes they're like, my spouse is the greatest ever. I'm so lucky to be married to them. And there's definitely times I've felt that over my years, and I've made some of those posts. And then sometimes you see folks make posts kind of like, if I had to do it all over again, I would choose you. And it always kind of feels like when you read that, it kind of feels like underwhelming. Like, really, that's the best you can do? Yes, I'd choose you again. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound very, I don't know. It doesn't seem super honoring. Having said that, you know, when you really think about marriage, a lot of you guys have been married for a while, some of you folks listening, you know, marriage is not always easy. And perhaps it's easy for some people, perhaps some people are just not selfish at all, or they're married to a saint, or they just love marriage kind of things, partnership kind of things. But I think for most people, marriage is sometimes hard. Like you have to fight your selfish nature. When Leslie and I first got married, we were young, 19 and 20, and she was putting me through school, working in a business office, and we, you know, we love the organization, but she hates Excel and spreadsheets and numbers, and that was not a job she enjoyed at all. So she was doing it for love, and she was doing it for us, and so she'd come home from a hard week, really. Woke up before me, working after I'm done. I'm just a student, you know, coasting. It was not a hard, you know, I was not having a hard time as a student, and so at the end of the week, I'd be ready to go out and see some people and do some things, and she's just spent. You know, she's been with people, working the whole time, and so I'd be kind of like, it's Friday night, let's go watch the hockey game. Again, this is rural Saskatchewan, and I let, you know, that's what everybody does. You go watch the hockey game at night, and so she's kind of like, I don't want to do that, and I was like, you don't want to go watch the hockey game? I mean, what kind of person doesn't want to go stand out when it's minus 20 in a rink and watch hockey all night? And I couldn't believe that. And one of the things I learned really quickly in our first year of marriage is I am a selfish person. I am a deeply selfish person, in fact. My parents had a great marriage, and Leslie's parents had a great marriage, and so I kind of assumed our marriage will be great too. I'll be good at being a husband because my parents were, and sure enough, we get into it, and I realized very quickly that I am not naturally a great husband because I am selfish and actually a bit moody too. And Leslie's much more stable, and so she's able to ride the waves quite a bit better than me. But you know what? Over the years, we kept working at it, and you keep, you know, you forgive, and you try to sacrifice sometimes, and you try to help your spouse, and you build this marriage. I had a grandpa that always talked about marriage. He was, you know, 50, 60 years into marriage. He'd always talk about it as an investment. Like, you know, towards the end, he'd call me every week, and I'd say, how are you doing, Grandpa? And he'd say, I'm reaping the investments. I'm reaping the dividends of 50 years of investment in my wife, kind of thing. And that's really such a great way to look at it. Like you know, it's not always easy. And again, maybe for some people it is, but for most of us, you have to kind of sometimes do things you don't want to do, and you have to think about somebody other than yourself. But you do that, and then, you know, years later, you're kind of blessed with this very comfortable partnership and this commitment to each other. So this year's been generally a pretty good year for us. I was a little grumpy on our anniversary, I'll be honest. You can even maybe, I don't know if you probably won't be able to see it watching the video, but as we were walking around the chateau, I was just feeling a little grumpy. We've been doing a lot of work, and sometimes it gets tiring when you got dust in your face, and kind of the end of the season, and I'm ready to get back to my easy job of teaching. Well, as much as we'll desperately miss this place. And so I was feeling a little grumpy, and but then, you know, I was thinking about those social media posts. I am still, even though I was grumpy, and there's been a lot of work lately, and sometimes we get frustrated because we're working really closely together all year, and that of course is bound to bring friction. But I'm still smart enough to know that Leslie's an amazing lady, and I'm extremely fortunate to be married to her, so I am thankful for that, and I realize that in our good days, in our fun days, and even in my grumpy days, I recognize it too. So anyways, enjoy the chateau, the one we visited, and if you're, now a lot of you guys probably have, you know, are not new into marriage. I look at the analytics, and so I think probably we have more older folks watching than younger folks. But if you happen to be a younger person watching this, or you're starting into a marriage, there's going to be some work. You know, there's going to be some sacrifice. You're going to have to do some things you don't want to do, and just go in knowing that and being committed to it, and you can build a marriage that lasts. I think that's what Leslie and I have, and it's one that will ride waves, and it will. I think we're built for the long run. So 33 years, good start. Here we are, Chateau Plessis-Bourg. I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, this is a real castle-y kind of castle. Drawbridges, moat, bridge. Got an entrance, kind of little castle with a drawbridge over there too. Fun. The entrance house. The moat. 2 drawbridges, I think that's cool. Come around this way.
We've got ourselves some stocks for all of those moments in time.
Celebrating our anniversary. So one thing that's super cool is how empty this chateau is. There's nobody here. It feels like, oh, there's one person. But it feels like for a lot of times we've been completely alone. I've said this before, but it's always fun to come to their chateau because you see that, man, they got some of the same problems we do. You know, with the cracks and, oh, you can see the wood here. Yeah, we're not alone.
That mirror, I'm a little frightened for. But the paintings are fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one here too. I want to see this one.
Nice salon. Really big chandelier. Again, this is an example of, you know, North Americans would come and you'd see this, you know, the paint wiped off and they'd be scandalized.
It's not wiped off, it's just worn off.
Worn off, but that's...
Look at the great little grill.
Yeah.
Love that.
You really kind of have to make yourself at home with the older buildings and the antiques. And then you come to grips with it. So this is kind of a cool big old long room up here in the castle. What did you read, Les?
Well, it was a corridor, and we noticed that there were all those scratches on the fireplace. And it says the damages on the fireplace occurred during the French Revolution, when the sabers of the revolutionaries wanted to remove the symbols of royalty and nobility. So they scraped it off and they just left it like that. And then during the First World War, this was an infirmary that still just left it.
It also said that they counted the number of wounded men and just wrote it on the fireplace.
Well, this was an infirmary.
Wow. Yeah.
From the Lord's chambers, his bedroom, there was this corridor that you'd come all the way down. And we had noticed this light when we were down in the chapel before. And when you come in here, they have a special place where they would just come and sit in private and could watch church through the little cutout.
Yeah, so basically you have your own seat to church and you don't have to talk to anybody. You can pay attention or not, nobody can see you.
It's private.
Just like the New Testament teaches. It's very fortunate we're never here during the week, and so we love this little restaurant, Le Petit Pré, which we believe has a chef that won top Chef France or something like that. And so usually it's a little bit spendy, but then of course if you're here during the week for lunch, they have the menu du jour, the formule. So we're here today and looking forward to it. All right, we came into the prefecture. Saw a very nice lady, didn't we?
We did, it was fantastic.
Yeah, she gave us a phone number to check.
Yep.
We're trying to figure out the visa situation.
We are indeed. So it went quick. So here we are getting to enjoy a little moment of blue sky, guys. We have blue sky and sun today. Yay! So we're in the Place, the square in Angers, our favorite city, and we love it here.
You were saying that you think that it's more beautiful than Tours.
I don't know, I like it better. Yeah, I'm really thrilled that God has us closer to Angers than Tours, but it's also lovely, but I really like it here. In this little square, it changes over the seasons. Right now they have like a community garden in the middle and a carousel and little picnic tables. In the wintertime, this is where the big Christmas market is. It's beautiful.
Okay, today we're not doing all three. We're just, Leslie's doing two, and so I have the appetizer. It's a gazpacho. What is it, Leslie? What do you think's in there?
Yeah, a little gazpacho. With lagostine. They're like, they should be like little, I don't know, you'll have to...
Little shrimp or something? Or little, let's take a look. I don't know. We'll see.
Or they cut them up maybe.
And then of course bread.
Indeed.
All right, the appetizers, 0 for 2. The bread was not great. And, you know, I don't like to be that guy, but the soup was tofu, cold gazpacho, which I don't mind. But then the raw, it felt like raw shrimp, which was a little bit edgy. Anyways, but the main course looks fantastic. Got some beef here, can you see it? There's the sun, and then Leslie's got some beautiful fish plate. They've done really nice. So this looks like it's gonna be very tasty. Dessert looks fantastic. That's what they call a cafe gourmand. Now that's a very small cup of coffee. Like 2 fingers. Yeah, it's just a little espresso. and some little treats.
Yep.
And then I have, what do I have?
Puffy breast.
Yeah. And it looks like
Choux pastry with black sesame.
choux pastry with black sesame, she says.
No, like cream.
Mm-hmm. Super good. Real talk, the main courses were not very good. We're 0 for 4. So here they're gonna redeem it here though. Very excited. Thanks for watching, everybody. You know, as we were getting ready to shoot this video, Mr. Bubs was saying, no, it wasn't Mr. Bubs, it was actually Leslie was saying, we wanted to say thank you for people for supporting us and for cheering for us and watching the videos. Oh, Bubs is gonna bark. There's a car. He's incensed. Okay, but you should better say it quick, Les. Like he's gonna get up and.
Oh dear. He hears cars go by sometimes.
Yeah, he's checking it out.
Certain cars.
What were we gonna say?
You know, we're just so grateful for all of you who are on Patreon and even when you watch our commercials on YouTube. We're super thankful for you doing all of those things. It helps us buy things like what Rob just used this week out
The rototiller.
Yeah, in the garden, and it just helps along the way to help us keep moving in progress. And we're super grateful for you guys to be faithful and loyal and being with us on this journey.
Yeah, we don't talk about it a lot because we're not trying to, like, I don't know, start we're not trying to do this as a business, but we are thankful and it does help. So hope you guys are having a great week and hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next week.